Buying a new home is so exciting, especially when we finally get to move in. What an amazing feeling. But that process can be quite frustrating, maybe even nerve-wracking at times. Fortunately, there are things that we can do to help avoid or reduce the amount of negative experiences there are in that home building process. Hey, I'm Kris Kennedy, and as a realtor who helps people buy brand new homes all of the time, I'm going to share these 7 crucial mistakes to avoid when building a brand new home so that you can have a better, more pleasant experience in the home building process. Ready? Let's take a look. The first big mistake to avoid is neglecting to interview a potential builder. This may seem obvious, but in Florida, in Orlando where I am, there are a few different types of builders. There's the big production builders that put up hundreds or thousands of home sites across multiple communities all over the place. On the other end of the spectrum, there are the custom home and luxury home builders. And then in the middle, there are the semi-custom home builders. If you're leaning toward a new home in a big production community, you're not going to be able to interview the owner of that company. But you can interview the project manager or the general contractor for that particular subdivision. If you're leaning toward a custom home builder, it's always a good idea to interview multiple builders. It's always a great idea to ask for references of past clients to see how their experiences were in the process. If you can, speak to those past clients and ask them about any particular issues they may have had along the way. There's always issues in the home building process, but what's important is how those builders handled the issues, and that'll give you a better insight into how your experience with that builder may be. The next big mistake to avoid is failing to review a builder's contract before signing. It's a great idea to read through that contract and understand everything you can about it. If you're uncomfortable with that, it's advised to hire an attorney to help you interpret that contract. You want to know everything on the timeframes, payment schedules, and any potential fees for change orders or delays and things of that nature. If you built a home, I'm curious, how was your experience and did anything interesting happen? Let me know in the comments. The next mistake to avoid is not analyzing the feature sheet and the budget that goes along with the finishes of the home. This process will be different if it's a bigger production builder versus a custom home builder. If you are going with a bigger production home, it's common that you'll have a time frame sometime after going under contract to select which finishes you'd like, and then the price usually adjusts from there. If you are going with a custom or semi-custom builder, then do ask for a line item of all of the finishes they plan to include in the home. Hopefully that would include a budget as well. If those builders do not have a model home for you to walk through to see the type of quality and finishes they plan to put in, you can ask where they plan to source those materials for the finishes. And if you can, go to those stores and see if the tiles or the flooring or the cabinetry all make sense for what you're hoping to get out of your new home. This brings me to the next big mistake, which is not establishing timeframes with your builder. Timeframes for things such as change orders for the finishes. There should be a last cutoff date for when you're able to select any changes. That way it doesn't delay the process, delay you moving into the home, and also delay the builder completing this home. It's also a great idea to understand the building timeframes as well, like when framing's happening, or plumbing, and electric, and definitely drywall. That's when the home starts looking like a home. And of course, like your final walkthroughs, which I'll have a really good bonus tip at the end of this video as well, so stay tuned for that. If you do understand the timeframes of the contract, then it'll help you avoid the next big mistake, which is not visiting the home site while the home is under construction. Visiting the home while it's being built is a great idea because it gives you an idea of how the home is built and allows you to check in on the progress. This will also show the builder and the builder's subcontractors that you actually care about how the home is being built, and maybe it holds them a little bit more accountable to know that you're there checking in from time to time. Similar to how I've been checking in on these luxury semi-custom townhomes right outside of downtown Orlando. Now that you're visiting the home site while the home is under construction, it's important to avoid this next big mistake, which is being difficult and unreasonable with the contractor and the subcontractors. Not many people enjoy dealing with very negative and angry people. Pleasantries go a long way in the building process. Issues always happen. Homes are built by people, and people make mistakes. What's important is how the builder handles those mistakes. And if we're pleasant to deal with, probably going to get things done a little bit faster. Quick example. Angry Alan comes in, sees that an electrical outlet is not in the right place, so he immediately starts yelling at the subcontractor. The subcontractor's probably not going to want to deal with him, and he'll probably even just walk off of the site. Then on the other spectrum, you've got Positive Paul, who calls the home builder and says, hey, I'm on the way, I was going to pick up some lunch at Chick-fil-A. How many people are at the home site? I'll pick up lunch for them too. One, the builder and the contractor is going to be very grateful, and if he shows up there and notices the same electric outlet off, just ask the question, hey, is that supposed to be in this spot or over here? They're probably going to say, oh my gosh, Paul, I'll take care of that for you. You're right. It's going to get done a lot easier. And if you are pleasant to work with, then fast forward to after you've already lived in the home for a while, that builder's probably going to be faster to call you back and faster to help you should you need anything post-closing. One of the biggest mistakes to avoid is not having a professional home inspection done prior to your blue tape walkthrough. Your blue tape walkthrough is basically when you walk through the home and stick a piece of blue tape on any of the imperfections that you need the builder to correct prior to closing. A professional home inspector will walk through with professionally trained eyes around the entire interior and exterior, and then when he's done, provide you with a nice organized report, usually in the digital format, and you can share that with the builder. And if you do this in advance of the blue tape walkthrough, it gives them a chance to get everything corrected prior to the blue tape walkthrough. The professional home inspector will look for things that we typically wouldn't notice. For example, if they come with a thermal camera, they can see if there's any missing insulation in the drywall, or they can walk a roof and see if any of the shingles on the roof are messed up. That's definitely important for resale in Florida and Orlando, because if there's missing shingles or damaged shingles, that can affect an insurance report, limiting someone's ability to get insurance. Here's a bonus tip for new construction home inspections. Bring a flashlight and hold it near and parallel to the wall. This will allow you to see things like imperfections, teardrops, and even missing paint that we normally wouldn't be able to see with our naked eye. A lot of builders don't want you to know that, but this video is for you, not them. Here's a bonus tip on home warranties. Most builders in Florida and Orlando offer a 1-year warranty for almost everything and a 10-year builder warranty, like this amazing new construction community here. At 11 months after living in the home, hire the home inspector back to give you a new report with any of the new issues. Hand that report over to your builder and allow them to correct any of those issues under your home warranty, and it will save you some money.